So we're back from our Northumberland 250 little tour over the weekend where we picked up 2 punctures. Anyway, the new tyre's turned up, so we'll take this wheel off and pop it down to the tyre repair place, get it changed over. Ready for our European tour in 3 weeks' time. Better get it done quick. Just before we move on to taking this wheel off, I just want to quickly say I'm not a professional mechanic. I'm a home DIY with quite a bit of experience, and this is just my way of doing it. It's a guide. Don't take it as gospel. Check the torque settings yourself. If you are unsure at all in any way, please don't attempt it. Take it to a motorcycle garage. It might cost you an extra £5–10. It's not worth messing about if you don't know what you're doing. Saying that, let's crack on and see how easy the job actually is. So the tools for today, we're going to need 10mm open-ended and a 12mm open-ended spanner. That's to do the chain. A mighty torque wrench, although this only goes up to 200 Newton meters. 36mm socket and a breaker bar, because that nut is on at 230 Newton meters. So it's going to take some doing. So on the right hand side of the bike we've got a 36mm socket with a multi-shape, not the hexagonal one. And the other side, as you can see, is just, well, there's no bolt on that, it just threads into it. That stops turning because it's in the swing arm. 36mm socket. And that's pretty stiff. Once it's gone, that's it. Right, cooking on gas. As always, when you take things off, make sure you remember which way they go back on. So we've got a nut and a washer there. Keep them together. Put that back on, look, push it through that way. There we go. Just remove the rest of that. Put that somewhere safe. That will push out all the way next. Don't lose that washer. Keep them together. Right, so if we just pull that all the way out, I have to wiggle the wheel a little bit. That's the wheel off. Let's get some gloves on actually. Alright, now put some gloves on. We can just move the chain out of the way, move the wheel out of the way. Don't lose that bit. Probably best to rest the wheel on the sprocket rather than damaging this ABS sensor ring. Just remember that that's still in there. Don't let anything drop out. This would be the time to check and maybe replace your rear brake pads. Mine are okay, so I'm going to leave them. We're back. The old tyre has had 2 repairs. The patches, which the guy says will last the lifetime of the tyre. Got the new tyre on, brand new. I've cleaned up the sprocket on the back there because we're going to clean the chain when we readjust it. So it's a case of sticking it back on now, torquing it up and running it in gently for a couple hundred miles, get that sheen off it. So just to make things a little bit easier, I've just pushed those brake pads right back carefully into the caliper so there's a bit more space for the disc to go in. So we'll just go past where we need to. Get this chain on. We've just slid the disc up between the 2 brake pads. Now we just need to line this up. have to wiggle it around. There we go. Right. So we have our spacer with the washer on there and our nut, which we can just tighten up a little bit. So as we tighten the nut up, you'll see that pull in a little bit. Right, that's just nice and slack, so we can adjust the chain. Right, so the chain's on loosely. We're somewhere close to where we were before because we didn't adjust the adjusting nut. So what we need to do is get the chain at this tightest spot, and we rotate it and just up and down until it moves the least. Now this is actually quite a new chain and it's in pretty good condition. So there's not much wear at all on the chain actually. There's no tight spot, which is rare. It's done nearly 3,000 miles. No, there's no tight spot. Hey, that's good, isn't it? Oh, that's probably the tightest bit there. Right, so we found the tightest spot. I'm going to mark that with a little marker pen so I know in future and so I don't lose it. And we'll put it on the side stand for correct adjustment. Just going to put a bit of a mark on so we know that's our tight spot for now. But we're looking for a gap between the bottom of the swing arm to there, between 50 and 52. And that is exactly 51. Let's just wiggle it down a bit. Yeah, let's move it a little bit. So that's 50 on the bottom of the swing arm, not the plastic. 54, so we need to just tighten up just a little bit. To just push this back to make the chain a bit tighter, we unwind the bolt out. And that will push the unit back. Do the same on the other side. Keep it square. Now you might be able to see there's actually marks where you adjust them to, but I also like to do a little bit of a caliper measurement. We've got a bit more on this side to screw out. So we've got 27mm that side. .27mm that side. So the wheel's square. Obviously you do want it, if it's square, in a nice straight line. You don't want to be crabbing along the road, so really important that these are the same. I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell on the camera, but we're measuring from the bottom of the aluminium bit of the swing arm, not the plastic, to the centre of the pins. 50 to 52. At the moment it's 57. So just wind this back, and you see it doesn't take much at all, look. Not much at all to push that back. Right, that's 52. If it's the same on the other side, we're laughing. If not, we have to just readjust it. Right, you probably won't be able to tell, but that marking lines up with the marking on the other side. And I've measured that gap there between the swing arm and this alloy adjuster, and they're both exactly 25mm. So like I say, we're confident that these are set up pretty much in the right position. We'll just tighten that one up. That's locked in position. I've done the same on the other side. Oh, no, I haven't. Make sure that's locked as well. Right, so both adjustment bolts are locked in position. They're both the same distance. We can now just tighten this up a little bit. Actually, we'll stick it on the torque wrench. My torque wrench goes up to 200 Newton meters. We'll get it close. And let's go down to 150. Just while we're setting things up, I think. Right, 150. Love that click. Right, 150. I'm going to put it on the centre stand, spin the wheel around a couple of times, put it back on the side stand, check the adjustment, check the distances again, make sure nothing's moved, then we're good to go. And we're back at our marking where we found this tighter spot last time. It still feels quite slack to me, but it's certainly tighter than it was before we did the wheel. So I'll put it back on the side stand and do that check one more time. But that is absolutely spot on. 51 millimeters from the bottom of this swing arm to the middle of the pin. So that is nice and tight. We're hard up against there. We're a little bit over 25 mil. Again, just a fraction over 25 mil. So we'll lock that in place. Righty tighty. Torque wrench time, like I say, it only goes up to 200 this one, and we need 230. So I'll put it up to 200. Then I'm going to whip it round to the garage around the corner where I know the mechanic. See if he's got a more heavy duty torque wrench. Because that's a lot. Oh, that's a lot. That is a lot, that. Let me just try 180 first. Make sure this thing's working. Right, that's 180. That's 190. That's 200. I'm going to give it a, oh, I don't know, like a midgie's more. Right, that's over 200 Newton meters. So that's it, well done. Reasonably straightforward. Just take your time, make sure you don't lose anything when you take the wheel out. Adjust the chain, check it, adjust it, check it. Make sure the gaps are straight, the same distances. You could count the threads if you wanted to, or you can go by the marks on the swing arm. Do that a couple of times until you're really happy. Torque the nut up, and Bob's your uncle. Right, I hope you found it useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Northumbria 250 was good. We did get those 2 puncture repairs, which was a bit disappointing. But Europe's coming up in a couple of weeks' time and we're really looking forward to that. We learned a lot on the Northumbria tour. We're going to put them into practice. So I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.